Hi, my name is Shreyans and this is the series on developing your equity research process. In this video, we are going to discuss the different profitability related ratios, see how do we calculate these and see that how can we really understand and interpret these ratios. All right, so let's get started. Now, in this video, I want to specifically talk about the profitability margin ratios, so to speak, and not the return on capital and return on equity ratios, because we talk about those later when we also do the dew point analysis, right? So the different profitability or the profit margin ratios that we have are basically the gross margin, then we have EBITDA margin, EBIT margin, PBT margin, and the net profit margin or the PAT margin. If you think about it, we've already calculated these ratios when we did the common size analysis, right? Because we take each line item as percentage of revenue, right? And all of these are actually presented in the financial statements. With a few companies, what you might find is that the EBITDA margin and EBIT margin are not really shown separately, but you have the operating income, non-operating income, then you have all the expenses, then you directly have profit before tax, you have tax, and you have profit after tax or net profit, and then you have the OCI components, right? But we can also calculate the EBITDA margin and EBIT margin very easily. So first, let's do a walkthrough of that how do you calculate the different profits, so to speak, right? So calculating the gross profit is very simple. You take the revenue and you deduct the cost of materials consumed and any changes in inventories. That gives you the gross profit, right? And then you deduct the other operating expenses like employee benefit expenses, selling and distribution expenses, administration expenses, other expenses. That gives you the EBITDA. Then you deduct the depreciation and amortization and impairment if there is any, you get EBIT. Then you deduct interest, right? And you add the non-operating revenues and any sort of exceptional transactions, you get the profit before tax, and you deduct the tax. It could be the tax paid or basically the changes in deferred tax as well, right? The tax liability that is due for that year and changes in deferred tax, and then you get the net profit. A very good way in to analyze these ratios or to analyze the different profits is to take a look at them in a stepwise or sequential manner, because as you saw that each of these profits are calculated one after the other, they're calculated in a sequence, right? So for example, if you see that the gross margin is stable, right, or it is increasing but the EBIT margin is decreasing, then you know that the operating expenses, right, are increasing at a faster rate, or the depreciation and amortization has gone much higher, right? So take a look at each of these ratios one after the other and try to figure out that which are those areas where cost control, so to speak, is weak, right? Because all of these ratios are calculated from the profit and loss statement, right? Now revenue figure is one only, but we have different expenses, and deducting these different expenses, we get different measures of profit. So what you're really doing here is trying to understand how good the cost control of the company is. For example, if the gross margin is increasing, that means that there are efficiencies in production, or the company is taking benefit of economies of scale, right? And similarly, the companies would try to control their costs as they get larger as well, because a lot of times revenue growth can be restricted, but controlling expenses can be much more flexible. And it also shows that company is very effective and efficient in dealing with the different costs that could be there. It could be operating costs, it could be interest, depreciation, amortization, any sort of cost, right? So try to obviously look at the overall trend, compare these profitability margins again with the industry median or the industry leader as well, to understand where the company really stands. And that way you would be able to form a broad idea of which cost areas are volatile or which cost areas are increasing at a rapid rate, and where there is lack from the company side when it comes to controlling the cost, right? Now, obviously, what you would want is these ratios to be as high as possible and increasing as well. but that's not always practical. So a lot of these ratios would also depend on where the company is in their life cycle. So if the company is growing very rapidly, then you might see that the ratios are also volatile and they might be low. And if the company is mature or stable, then you'd find the ratios also stabilize, and they'd be short or small movements, so to speak, or small changes in the different margins that are there, right? So take a look at these ratios. Based on the changes in ratios, take a look at the absolute expenses, and then try to understand that, okay, which are the areas, which are the costs that are not being properly managed, or that are being very well managed, which gives a competitive advantage to the company. Because uh, in a competitive market, the company might have will have to sell at competitive prices, right? So not all companies can charge a premium, but a company that can efficiently manage its costs can have wider and fatter profits, and that would be a great thing for the company as well. So this was it about the profitability ratios. I hope you were able to understand. More or less, it's straightforward. And also when we talk about observations, we'll discuss that how we can interpret the different ratios as well. Although I hope that you've already gotten an idea of that and can very well do this yourself. So that was more or less it for profitability related ratios. And in the next few videos, we're going to talk about the other categories of ratios.